I mean, Sugetsu outright said it in an interview with Pedro Romero that the second loss to Heretics, I broke something within the team.
No comment.
Which that surprises me because it feels like something that should be easy to shrug off. Yeah, because of the format.
It's true. And didn't Angel also tweet something about like
Sugetsu in the interview as well with Pedro Romero? For anyone who didn't catch it, it's worth listening to. It starts out with Sugetsu really seeming like he doesn't want to talk about stuff, and then he opens up more. Basically, Pedro just straight up asks him like the same question 5 times in a row, rewording it slightly, and eventually Sugetsu just cracks. He just cracks, and he's like, he starts revealing more and more about what's going on while still trying to keep things professional, obviously. But he was saying that Na'Vi previously had a psychologist. They don't have one anymore. And his opinion was that it would have helped them a lot with the internal issues that they're having within the team. He said that it's primarily, from his perspective, a mental issue as well, with how people are like trusting each other and yeah, dealing with the results. And he also seemed frustrated, Sugetsu, that there was no system apparently to like deal with the communication gap. I'm reading between the lines here. This isn't overtly what he said, but he said like nobody talked after the loss to Koi. We might not talk about it tonight. Who knows? And like Finesse again had another interview with Pedro Romero where he said, we played our best today on stage. He said we genuinely played better than we did in the game against Crew. We just failed to close out the game properly. But he said, despite that, despite thinking that they played some of the best Valorant they have done this year, they still didn't deserve to make playoffs. So in his head, they're like, they were playing at their peak, but even their peak wasn't good enough to be able to make playoffs. And obviously, he's excluding the 7-9 rounds in a row that they lost in order to lose the map, where he said that they didn't make adjustments fast enough. But I kind of got that feeling. Like, I think I'm on board with that. Finesse said in an interview, the one that I was referencing earlier, that a lot of the times in the VOD review, they would figure out something, but they would all be sat there together and be like, why didn't we think of that in the moment? And I think the reason is that they just hadn't done enough scrims, hadn't done enough reps to take what they know and make it something that they can immediately think of in the moment. They have the knowledge, they're good players, but they didn't have the reps to be able to play at their best. And depending on what the rebuild looks like over the offseason, I mean, they might be put in a bad situation again. Who the hell knows? I do want to move on, though.